Welcome back, East Coasters, East Coast DNA. This is
Darcy.
And I'm his brother Andrew. And this week we have Knull coming from PEI, probably the smallest population in Canada with the largest punk scene in Canada.
12th biggest province.
12th biggest province. So these guys come from Prince Edward Island. And question right off the top, favorite Kiss song?
Yeah, lick it up, Fox.
What did you say?
Lick it up, lick it up, yeah. Dude, lick it up is in Tony Hawk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, lick it up.
I love that.
I was going for Parasite or God of Thunder because Thor God of Thunder number 6 was the introduction of you guys, wasn't it?
Oh, the Knull from the Symbiotes and the Marvel connection for your name.
We're assuming that's where you got your name from. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came from the Marvel thing.
Yeah, cool.
But apparently in Sweden, we have people like post on social media now, like letting us know that the band name means fuck or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
really? How convenient.
Yeah, it means to fuck.
It means to fuck. Okay.
Yeah, verb.
Do you know what that means, though? It means people in Sweden are catching on to who you are, so that's...
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
not a
that's
bad
true.
thing.
Yeah. It means we're pretty pumped to have a band that's just fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means you're punk for sure.
Think of how many Swedish people are upset that they didn't think of that before.
Yeah. So you guys started during the pandemic. You were kind of a baby of the pandemic, and that's kind of how we started as well. Lockdowns and everything, and find something to do to fill that void.
Yeah, find a new hobby.
And you had a couple EPs come out December 2020, correct? The first year of the pandemic?
Yeah, first one, December 2020. That was the first one. Yeah, Absolute Carnage. And yeah, we recorded that one. It was October, I think, the following year. Yeah. 2021. That we did Glass Jeweler, and then Devour was last March.
Okay. And then this week you're working on something new?
Yeah, currently, yeah. Yeah, we're recording in Milton, or just next to Milton, Prince Edward Island, in a practice space, and we have an awesome producer down here named Davis Maxwell, who's helping us over the next week. He plays in bands as well, and produces. And he's from, I think, is it Kingston? Hamilton.
Yeah.
Right on.
Not Toronto.
That's right.
Yeah, just not Toronto, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So before the formation of the band Knull, what was the history for the individual members of the band here? I see some things from doing a little bit of research. I think I picked up that Kyle and Jesse worked together at a studio. Is that a video studio?
No, we work at a production production services company.
Okay.
So we do like just events, various events, anywhere from corporate AV to like festivals.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So that's
during the pandemic too. At our work, we turned some of our warehouse into like a live studio for bands to come and produce content through. So we kind of pivoted that way and did in-house video, and kind of got familiar with that during the pandemic.
And so was that kind of the origins of where you guys started putting together a band that you were supporting other bands?
Yeah. Whenever that was happening, is also when we were creating the video studio at House Run. So, yeah, it kind of worked where we knew we were going to do some visual components with the band as well.
And so Brandon and Chase, do you guys work in that field at all, or just metalheads and your friends that way, or
What do you do?
I'm a pony right now.
full-time musician is what you're supposed to say?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually the chef at Gahan House in Charlottetown.
Are you?
Okay.
I love your root beer. It's fantastic.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew's the foodie of the two of us, so if you name a restaurant, he probably knows about it.
And I'm 25 minutes out of Halifax, so Pickford and Block is owned by the same company. So yeah, I get the root beer there on the waterfront sometimes when I'm being all posh. So.
Fancy boy.
Yeah.
So I know, Jesse, you were in a band previously, completely different genre.
Yeah. I used to play a lot of fiddle music. I was a backing guitarist for anybody in that kind of world. Fiddle players, whistle players, pipers, all that fun stuff. Yeah, that was my main gig for a while.
And now that you're into the metal scene, you're not working on any of that stuff currently.
And very rarely, actually. I think I scared.
You still play. You still play.
Well, once in a while. I'll still play a couple of trad riffs here and there, but I think I scared most of the melody players on the East Coast after they saw some of our videos.
He's
like,
broken.
yeah, I had a couple of people ask me, like, "Are you okay?
Is everything all right?
Yeah. So yeah, here and there. I'm mainly doing this a lot more now, and I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we have gone back and listened to like the full catalog, and we actually have a little companion playlist on YouTube that will have all your songs in it too. But Devour, when that came out, I mean, we were already 2-3 months into doing this podcast, so I was quite regularly looking for new bands, and at that specific time I was really looking for heavier bands, so I was really excited to see that come out. But where does that whole concept of doing it as a short film to go along with the EP, like where did that idea come from?
Right in that head.
We had originally the first EP, Absolute Carnage, and then we had Glass Chewer. We knew we were going to put out another EP because we kind of envisioned doing like kind of 4 offerings of songs that eventually would be like one full release eventually. But yeah, when we went to go record those, we recorded them in February 2021, I believe. And we recorded all the songs, and I started mixing all the songs that we recorded, and that was I probably mixed off and on from like February until May of that year. And for mine and Jesse's like industry, and same with Chase and Brandon, is the summertime is like that's when you make hay. That's when it's busy. So we kind of shut it down at around May, and I saved all my progress on the mixing console that I was using. That happened to be from Housefront, from the company we work for. And I was just going to come back to it after work, probably in like September, October, and finish like mixing it and mastering. And anyway, sometime in June, the console went out on a rental for a Jimmy Rankin gig, and Jimmy Rankin's front of house guy wiped the console. He cleared all the settings. And me being dumb, I didn't back it up or anything like that. So all the work that I had from February to May of mixing and picking away and editing was just gone. I just had the raw tracks, the raw recording. So a little frustrated with that, and kind of just kept putting it off until January of 2022. And we kind of just were, at this point now, we were a little more well-versed on video within the studio. And one of my good friends, Alex Douglas, I had a question about shooting a type of music video to him, and he offered to like film the music videos that we were going to do for the release for that would become Devour. So we decided just to, since we had to start all the mixing and stuff from scratch, we may as well kind of approach it with, put a little more work into it and try something different. So we knew we wanted to do a visual component for every song, and then the idea kind of just came of doing like a continuous, like one cohesive story. Just because we thought that would be like really outside of our comfort zone, like trying to do like whole visual album.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it comes across like as a package. Even I've played it for a few people that don't necessarily listen to heavier music in the first place, but it definitely comes across as like a small little art film as well. So I mean, it has a different appeal for different people too. It's kind of that suspense horror. There's like a tension through it, right? So
yeah, exactly, yeah, and
pulls people in.
You're playing after having that like moment where you lose all your work and you're just like, okay, now I got to do this all over again. You start to just think, I'm just thinking, like, you do this all the time. You're like, you make the thing and then you kind of like craft it and then you throw it out to the world. And you might get someone's attention for half a play on the internet, and then they're listening to a podcast or they're playing a video game, or there's so much like the value of music has been so devalued because there's so much attention. Yeah, there's so much content out there, and so much shit to grab your attention that I was like, we're gonna put this work into it. We may as well go like as hard as we can to produce something for that is at least interesting to be like, oh, that band, they made a video for every one of their songs. Do you know what I mean? Like, it kind of gave it. We maybe, I think in doing that got someone's attention for more than 30 seconds. Maybe we got the first 5 minutes, even if it's just on the visual angle of how well it's shot, because like Al is such an incredible cinematographer. Like, yeah, he's just great to work with. So yeah, but yeah, it was just that cycle. That was where the whole theme of it came from. But,
and you did the VHS little your social media campaign with the infomercial type styles for your VHS were pretty good.
Yeah, the infomercial was fun, but yeah, the VHS. We originally we were thinking about putting it like a cassette. That's always like fun, and it's a lot more inexpensive than doing vinyl. And then it just came to me. I was like, what if we did our own VHS? Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, no, like people got vinyl. Like, people have record players. People even have tape decks. But who has a VCR line around on the ready to be like, I bought something, watch it.
My brother has mine laying around.
Yeah, I have Andrew set up over there in a little editing studio. So
yeah, we just thought it would be fun, and it was really fun. Like figuring out how to downscale the 4K video to be 480i, and then figuring out how to like tape it onto the VHS tapes.
Yeah,
yeah, but it was like we bought all the VHS tapes from Value Village, like from movies, and we just taped over the anti-piracy like slots.
Yeah.
And we rewound every film so it played all the previews of the movie that you got. So like, let's say for example, we taped Devour on Grease. You would get all the previews until it rolled to feature presentation. And then we started recording Devour over it. So it would rip in and our video would play, and then it would end and you would just get the rest of Grease.
That's perfect.
Awesome. So anyone that's already bought it should try to get multiple copies.
Oh
Yeah. The true collector has multiple copies.
Yeah.
We have what was it, Mission Impossible 2?
Mission Impossible 2 was the best one because they had an ad for the soundtrack for Mission Impossible 2, which has I Disappear from Metallica, which that song fucking just goes.
Yeah.
And the video is like they're promoting the music videos, and like break stuff's in there, and I Disappear. It just kicks ass, and then it goes feature presentation, and then our video.
Awesome.
But we also scrubbed all the labels off of of movies, and we printed our own labels. So when you get it, and we got Kane Cox, a designer, to like design the box art, and then we got a local print company here that just wanted to do it because they thought it was cool. They've never had to print a VHS template and fold it and figure out the boxes. But yeah, the way it came out looked really good. Like, it actually looks like a VHS you would buy at a store.
Have you considered doing that, not scratching the label off, going back to Value Village, dropping it on the shelf and walking away?
Oh, man.
I still have like 8 left.
That's actually an incredible idea.
There's a YouTuber that does that. He buys art at Value Village, takes it home, and then if it's like a scene with like a tree on a hill, he'll paint like a silhouette of someone hanging off it, and then he'll just go back and stick it back on the shelf just to let someone else buy it. So yeah, it could work. It could work for you.
Oh yeah.
So your more recent music video was just out in the last week or two. That's a different person you had filmed that one?
Same guy.
Same guy. So
Alex, he's the man. So we want him for everything we do, basically.
awesome.
Yeah.
It has another cool flow. I watched it several times in a row, just looking for tips on how everything flowed together. It's a pretty cool concept. I won't even bother describing it. It's on the companion playlist too. Anyone watching this should just go watch that video right after this anyway.
Yes, and the thing is it's not like a music video. Like, the audio that you hear is recorded live. Like
Yeah, that
it's all-
looks like
all recorded.
insanely difficult to do the way, because
Yeah,
the video is flowing
Yeah,
around.
like my mind was melted. Like we spent 4 days work. Like we obviously spent weeks leading up to it, but like those 4 days, like I mean, I run a kitchen. Like it's this was way harder than that. Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to like wrangle everybody to make sure that they're in their spots and you're getting shots and making sure you're playing the song correctly. And it was hella fun.
Yeah.
It was a blast. Like it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was super fun to do it, and yeah, like when you watch it, there's no edits. Like it's literally video starts with, you know, Alex to the. It's like a POV video, so he walks in, and then you're off to the races. And as soon as you're shooting, that's us recording the song as you see it moving around.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that it even, like, I see it that it's live, and like I said, I've seen it several times. It's hard to believe that is even possible with stuff happening in the background and not accidentally catching it on camera to get it in one shot like that.
Yeah, it was all in the choreography, and like we can't thank our friends enough. It was our first time like with Devour. We just kind of did it all in house.
Mhm.
Had a buddies like help us out with that, but like having 20 people in the house, trying to get them like up to date with what we had planned, and finding people who are comfortable with being a part of it, like actually having movement parts within the video. Yeah, it was just a different challenge. It was fun.
Probably a lot more rewarding too, doing it actually live.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
It felt good after that 8th take, and so we played it front to back 8 times,
Mm-hmm.
and the 8th time, the one that you see is what the video is.
Wow.
Yeah, it'd be super rewarding.
So there must be more video content coming. If you're working on a new material, you must have more video content coming, then I'm assuming.
Yeah.
'Cause-
We have big things coming.
You should beat that out.
Yeah.
We have. We're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we for this we have like a new release cover that we hope to come out. We're not sure when. But yeah, we're just hunkering down and hanging out with Davis for the next, I think it's only going to be like a little over a week. Yeah, and just kind of get into the nitty gritty of these 8 songs, and hopefully be ready to go by like May or June. But whenever it's done, it's done.
Unless things get deleted again.
Yeah. Won't happen again. I bought several USB sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
And
You're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davis is doing it.
That's
That's the other
yeah.
part.
For the other releases, I recorded it and engineered it, and it's really nice this time to have someone who is dealing with the technical aspects of it, and I can just play the guitar and scream into the microphone. He's downstairs right now editing drum tracks right now. Like, just
there you go. You're keeping them working. That's exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
We're gonna slack off, get to work.
Listen,
he's doing the Lord's work.
yeah, he's a soldier, man. We didn't even have to ask him. He's like, I'm good with 14-hour days. We're like, whoa. I'm like, we're not.
Yeah.
We're
We'll do
all
4, you do the 10 extra.
And just after, well, as of the time that people would be watching this, by the time we get it out, we have the music PEI has their own awards festival thing going on. It's next weekend, right?
Yeah. It's
So you guys are up for an award?
Yeah, we're up for Digital Presence of the Year, and we're up for another one.
Video of the year,
Yeah,
which is for Devour.
yeah, exactly. So fingers crossed, but not everybody else that's nominated for that. It's all well deserved all around. So we're just happy to be nominated.
Now, yeah, I do know that you have a couple performances coming up because I follow you online. I've seen some advertisement there for it. But are you showcasing or anything at all throughout the Music PEI events?
We are, yeah. This Friday we're playing the Red Dirt Rock stage.
Get ready to rock,
Yeah.
brother.
Along with a lot of other great PEI artists and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of weird for a band like us to go on a showcasing event, especially the lineup is all like professionals and
professional rock.
well respected rock bands, and then there's us.
Nothing professional about us whatsoever.
I like the music, but why all the screaming?
We have a very fun set planned for that. So yeah, we're really excited for that show. I think it'll be fun. It's always fun to play for people who have never even been to a show of that type of music before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have like a few buds involved on the production side, like to do front of house and lighting and stuff for us. So it should be a fun set for people who don't really fuck with the screaming.
Yeah.
And then we have the Seahorse on the 23rd as well.
Yeah, with Worst Part and Wax Forest, and I can't remember the other band. It was a last minute show that got added, but very excited. Have you guys talked to Worst Part yet?
We've seen Worst Part and talked to a couple of them after the show when they're selling merch and stuff, but we have not had them on the show yet.
I had their shirt on yesterday. I should have worn it today.
They're awesome. That band rocks.
They're good.
And we Maddie Grace has played with them as well. Maddie's been on a couple times, but we just had a Maddie episode actually. We had Feelings from PEI, and then we had Maddie, and now we're circling back to PEI with you guys.
Right on.
Maddie reached out, so we just grabbed her right away because anytime she wants to talk, we want to talk. So yeah, good stuff. So where's your inspiration come from music-wise? Do you guys have you all bring your own thing into it, or do you have a sound that...
Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
Chris Gaines.
Honestly, like the true inspiration of this band is Metallica.
Yeah.
Like, did I have you for a second?
No, because I know you don't talk like that. No, to be honest, I think it's one of the cool things. I talk about pretty often is the fact that if you go listen to a lot of our tracks, like people within our subgenre of hardcore, there's not they don't really veer outside their lane very often. They find whatever style that they're very comfortable with, and they just kind of stick with it. Which when Kyle asked me to do it, I was excited to do it, but I figured that's what it was going to be. But just literally every song we go and write, it's so different than the last that it doesn't seem like we find. It's like there's these subgenres within hardcore itself, which is also itself a subgenre that we end up kind of picking away at. And then I was talking to Jesse about this literally today, that one of the things I love about this is that we all have so many different flavors of music. Like Chase played in a folk punk band for years. Jesse plays trad music. I played drunk punk music most of my life. And Kyle's played in post-hardcore pop punk bands and hardcore bands. And it's completely all over the map. And there's so many little things that on the inside looking at it, I hear so much of it constantly. And I think that's what keeps it really fun, to be honest. And then we're constantly growing with each other. Like Jesse, he never listened to any of this before he joined the band. So it's he'd hear Kyle playing a few things at shows that Jesse was there playing a trad show for.
Yeah.
And it's Kyle or Jesse would be like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then Kyle starts dropping these ideas oh, I know this kid who plays trad music. He kind of finds it cool. I think he'd have fun. And then we had to teach him how to palm mute and everything. It's all the simplicity. And then at the same time, it's I played in drunk punk stuff and haven't really played a lot of music over the last X amount of years. And coming back to playing bass in a hardcore or punk band or anything like that, it took me close to 2 years to feel comfortable with playing the instrument again.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chase, the speeds that we get him to play sometimes, we're not young. We're not young, and he's never been that fast drummer guy. So he said it what was it, 8 months ago?
Yeah.
You messaged the group, and you were just
I told them, I was like, this band is making me a better drummer.
yeah. So
I'm physically more fit. I can do things I could never do.
that is not the case for me. No, but I think that's there's tons of influence there. There's tons of bands that we all love together as a group, whether it be Turnstile or Every Time I Die or Worst Parts, yeah. or just Wild Side, all these different hardcore bands that we all love. but it's never really a situation where we go like, yeah, that's us. Like that is us to a T. It's like that song is that, but then the next 3 songs we write are completely different things. And I think that's going to hold evident when we finish up this record. Is there's some different stuff coming from us? Yeah. Like, I'm super excited about it. It's been really fun writing it. It's been really fun playing it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So I had one more question now that you're all back on screen here. The riff roundups that you were doing. Those are kind of fun to watch. I was one of your viewers when it was happening. Are you guys planning on doing anything like that again? Maybe as kind of a side promotion when you're releasing new material or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna do an episode maybe on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Yeah, probably Wednesday. We're gonna do it like in the studio with David, our producer. We might even call in some buds and bands and stuff. If you lads want to get in, that'd be cool too.
Well, if it's Wednesday, this episode will be out Wednesday as well, correct, Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be later the same evening. Works out perfect for it.
Listen, we're a really big deal. We get like 20 to 50.
That's double what we get. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Like,
I quit.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's yeah. It's always fun to do because we love showing each other riffs.
Mm-hmm.
And what we constitute as a riff is just a part of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a vocal part, it could be a breakdown, it could be some thrash riff, could just be a guitar line.
I make sure I get a bass line in every episode. I'm just like, come on, you gotta be something. Chase does with drums too.
Yeah, we just thought it would be fun to just like hold off with showing each other bands that you come across, over the time, and then kind of like what we do is we have like notepads on our phone and we just add riffs to it. So whenever we do a riff roundup together, we're like, have you heard this riff? Because everyone likes to do that.
Yeah.
Back pocket bands, you're like, oh, that riff's cool, but have you heard this?
Yeah.
It's always good. It's always fun to do that with buds. So I found out even just from these guys, like Jesse played. I think it was on like the second time we did the little podcast thing. He played an interval song, and now that from the riff from that album is one of my favorite albums of all times. It's like a desert island record
now. Awesome.
Perfect.
We'll have to have you guys on the show sometime.
Yeah, we should try to for this week. It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
I'll
Check
show you all
Andrew's schedule there as he's editing.
my 90s alt rock riffs. That's all I got.
The constant theme of everything that we do, though, is I wonder if we can do this. And then it's just like we fumble our way through learning how to do it. So it's like when we started the band, it was just fumbling around trying to figure out if we could make this band. And then it was like, let's release these things. Then Devour was like, let's see if we can do like the editing process of Devour. Like Kyle was deep in that for so long, and learning that was really cool. And same thing with Burn Pit, and then Riff Roundup. It was like, how can we make this work? Which is why the elusive episode 1 still it still hasn't aired because we did it and we were
so trash.
We learned a lot that day. So
I'm not even saying the stuff we're doing now is good. That was just bad. Like trying to play the songs with or an 8-inch jack into a phone that's not
Samsung
phone.
Like,
it wouldn't actually make a connection. So you'd be playing a riff and you go bam. Well, fuck me, dude.
Yeah, we've had similar experience on this end.
Yeah.
Just blew their ears out. Yeah.
That's how you learn new things. Like the first year of pandemic, everyone tried to do live shows, and no one realized how much of a challenge doing a live stream would be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so after you're done listening to this episode, if you listen to it as it went live, check that out right afterwards, right? Wednesday night?
Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to do it Wednesday night or Thursday. The thing is we are loose cannons. So it might be Thursday. It might be, and the thing is it might just hit us. We're let's do the riff roundup tonight. But we're probably guessing because all of us had this whole week slated off for. That's all we're focusing on this week.
Mhm.
Just recording these next batch of songs. However, this release is going to be presented, which could be interesting. Yeah, just hanging out as a bunch of buds.
Family.
Yeah, having Davis here is fucking awesome. Like, you got to check out his bands. He's in a band called Last Wretch. It's a death metal band. I'm pretty sure he produces that as well as he plays drums. And his other band that we did a small run last September with, Kothra. Check out those bands because
Heaviest band on earth.
they go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll have to add some of that to the playlist as well for anyone that's watching this to check out as well.
Yeah, for sure. Check it out.
So where's the best place for people to follow you online to find out when all this stuff is happening?
Go to MySpace.
Go to MySpace.
Or Friendster, dude. Like, we're not picky. We're active on both. Instagram and there's not much community stuff on YouTube for. We're fine right now. Like, so we put a lot of our content on like YouTube. But Apple Music and all stuff like that. Like, we're on all that bullshit.
Budding Facebook group.
Yeah, but Instagram is the one we're most active on. We always like to, send us a DM. We like to talk shit. It's always fun.
At Knull PEI.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll link that down in the description or the show notes, depending on if you're listening or watching this. And if you want to find us, you can find us in Linktree. Everything else is down there as well. But we're going to play out with Burn Pit. But thanks for coming on, guys. We'll chat with you again soon. And this is Burn Pit.
Yep.
Don't